Welcome to Strategy Battlegrounds to the GBHL YouTube video. You hear your host GBHL Damian.
From GBHL Tom.
And this is episode 24 of the Palantir. Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. We're back
Again, after a week.
Oh my god, we're back
break.
again. Yes.
Somebody.
2 weeks break. Really.
Somebody was ill.
I was ill. Tell them, because obviously I only typed a little message on the tournament preview. I was proper ill, right?
Yeah.
You were here on the night we were meant to record.
Yeah.
Could I have recorded?
I mean, we could have recorded you being ill, which would have been funny in itself.
I think I did actually come back and sit down here.
You did?
With a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And I think it was actually you that went,
You're not filming.
you can't do this. You stupid, stupid idiot. So yes, I was very sick. And I'm sorry.
But we got an early night. Yeah.
We had an early night. It was very exciting for us. Probably for the best. But yes, we are back.
We are back.
To normality. Whoops. There goes gravity. And back with the...
Took me a while to work out what song it was. I was like,
there's always a little song early on, isn't there,
yeah.
in the Palantir? They're looking out for it. It's a key moment.
Yes.
But yes.
Another key moment.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
More like a tea moment.
Hey.
Hey, there we go.
Oh yeah, tea toast. It was from GBHL Jamie.
It was from GBHL Jamie, and he passed it on to
Beast of War Brennan, who is Ben Shaw.
Ben Shaw. There you go, Ben. Who I believe you do watch. He's commented before, isn't he? He's definitely a fan of the channel. He's on the Facebook group. So here's to you. Ben writes for Beast of War, which is a very, very popular, very famous wargaming website.
Yeah, and he does some Hobbit, Lord of the Rings articles.
He does. He gave us our mainstream coverage of SPG.
Yeah, and he gave the tutorial, the Lord of the Rings, beginner's tutorial
from the channel.
From the channel
when he wrote
one as well. So
when he wrote the SPG
done two
article.
really useful shout-outs.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Go and check out Beast of War. It's an excellent website with fantastic production videos. Production values on their videos. They've got a full proper studio setup. I don't know if the guys do it, if it's full-time professional, but it looks like it is. So well done,
good.
And here's to you, Ben. Don't forget to pass it on.
Yes. Mug review?
Mug review. I've gone for Old Faithful, big Jurassic Park mug, love it. Jurassic Park news. Have you seen the Jurassic Park Lego? That was good.
I saw that it'd been
the film video thing. It's well worth a watch. It's very cute. A father and his daughter have done it and built it out of Lego, and then in 3 minutes tell a story. It's fantastic. Go and give it a watch.
Well, talking of stop motion animation, I've got a mug review. It works.
Does it? Oh, I see. I thought that was it.
No,
I didn't realise. Yeah, I thought that was. I was like, that's not a link. Right. There's another step. There's another step. Don't worry. You do have a mug review.
I have a mug
Talking
review.
of stop motion animation, I've got a mug.
I told you what the mug was.
Oh, people are gonna love this. We should make a big deal of this.
Yeah, so Zarfi Angle and Aquan39 were very disappointed over the last few weeks where I've not brought the mug.
Yeah.
But I have now brought the mug. I forgot to bring up the mug carry case.
Disaster.
I had a specific mug carry case for
The mug's made it.
Yeah,
Tom's new mug. So what is this mug?
It's just got writing on. No, it's a mug from work, and everyone in my team at work was assigned a character during a kind of, it was meant to be a fun team building week. And it was a character from a cartoon of some sort.
Did you get Grinner?
Did not get Grinner. Was not an option. And I got Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. So that was where this stop motion animation.
5 minutes later.
Yeah.
The link.
Here's the link. There you go. Look at that.
And what do we have on the other side?
Oh, it's just work stuff with my name on it.
RMS. And whoever guesses what that stands for can have a free Freddo.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
As long as
the clue is it's not root mean square if you Google it. So yeah, I got Wallace. The reason for that was, any guesses?
Because you have your dress sense is so appalling. People often think you're wearing the wrong trousers.
Hey, I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one. Not quite.
Because you're from the north. It's your voice.
Because I'm from Lancashire. So Wallace and Gromit was Nick Clark is from Preston, which is in Lancashire. Close to
We've
me.
been there. We tournamented there. We had a great night out and you didn't come.
Yeah, that's the one. But anyway, yeah, it's from Lancashire. Point 2 was he likes cheese. Cheese is good. The third one is I always wear the wrong trousers. No, the third one was a bit more tenuous, but it said I like trains, which is kind of true. But it's more my dad with the model railway. But that was kind of linked there.
Cool.
So there you go.
Mug review.
Mug review.
Way.
So you actually get a mug review.
Good stuff.
And next week...
Oh, next week's mug review.
There's going to be a double mug review.
Yeah, for those of you who like the mug review.
We will not spoil anything, but there's going to be a double mug review.
There's a twist. The Palantir's got a twist next week. It's a
massive twist.
You're going to love it.
Doom Bunny also offered to send a mug out. Clearly he loves the mug reviews. If you are inclined to send stuff, I mean, we are not asking for anything at all. But if people do want to get in touch about mugs or anything else, sbgmagazine@gmail.com.
Why is it mugs and Freddos we're getting?
Yeah, mugs.
Why do we get models?
Jamie gets a nice Hobbit hole. We get
mugs and Freddos. Not that we don't appreciate the Freddos, Billy, and any mugs that people might send us. But gold is also good.
Gold. Smaugs. Payment in Smaugs.
Yeah. If anyone wants to send us a Smaug, fine.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so that is the mug review. At Fun39, who wanted to know about the mug, also asked whether we'd be able to read some of the Hobbit poster. Now, let's just clarify, that would just be reading the Hobbit.
Yeah, I remember that, because obviously this comment was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Didn't the comment say how much of it
could you read?
That was it, yeah.
About an hour's worth?
Yeah, yeah, you're going to love this episode of the Palantir. And the answer to how much of it could you read is all of it. You can read it.
It's the whole Hobbit.
Yeah, the whole thing's there.
It's in minuscule, I don't know, size 1 writing.
You can definitely read it though.
Down the dwarves scrambled or jumped or dropped. 11 all in a heap. Bloody go on.
There you go. It's all up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's cool.
That's the answer. Should you be so glad? I haven't read it.
What, the post?
I haven't read the
entire post.
I presume it's the Hobbit, if I'm honest.
It's not
I've
really.
I've only looked at a couple of bits.
They sneak in a swear word every so often.
You wouldn't know.
But it's not the kind of thing you'd sit in an armchair and be like, right, I'm going to get the poster out.
Can't take it on the train. But yes, if you were so inclined, you could read the entire Hobbit purely from that poster. Yes. Saving space on your bookshelf.
Yeah. Cool. So, what did we talk about last week, Damian?
Last week we talked about whether or not I should film the video because I was so ill.
Yeah, true.
2 weeks ago we talked about our collections, didn't we?
We did. And also using models to represent other profiles.
Yes, the Green Rose Alfred thing, or vice versa.
Just a quick note actually before we jump into kind of a comment review. There were some interesting comments last week, 2 weeks ago.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But just wanted to give a shout out to those who were supportive of us.
Yes, we had lots of nice comments from people.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Loads of people were really, really nice and saying that, I don't know, they enjoy the show and they appreciate us taking the time to do it and so on. So thank you.
Yeah. There was loads of names who did that. We're not going to
thanks a lot.
Do a roll call of everyone, but yeah, it means a lot when people do
it. It is quite tough, like every single week, and James and Jamie have this, we speak from impression obviously, that, getting together and doing it, and we do enjoy doing it, but having things like that where people are saying that, they appreciate us taking the time and find, I don't know, some sense of enjoyment in our silly little witterings is lovely. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and
it's very appreciated.
We are just wittering.
Yes, for a lot.
This is a cue for you. Look about the opinions.
Should I witter? We are just wittering our own opinions. Yeah. And as ever here on the Palantir couch, Palantir, I don't know what that is. It's just the afterbirth.
Socks are up now. Getting serious.
These are just our views and our opinions. We are not right, we're not wrong, we're just chatting. And they do not represent the views of the Great British Hobbit League or the GBHL podcast YouTube channel, or indeed any other formal body or organisation such as Virgin Atlantic.
Yeah. Or Virgin America.
Yeah, either.
For our pals across the Atlantic. So yeah, you said, because we do just wittering, this is more wittering, but you said you watched back a bit of a Palantir episode and you were like, it looked like we were really enjoying chatting to each other.
Yeah.
Which is...
when I was editing it, there was one where, I think it must have been the last episode.
Yeah.
Every time I clicked onto it, we just seemed to be laughing hysterically, we enjoy it. So it's just a little friendship moment there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, we do enjoy it. It's good fun.
We just laugh a lot so that hopefully that will end up as the YouTube picture.
Absolute rufflecopter.
Get out. Cool. So yeah, that was it. So yeah, send. I don't know where we were exactly, but yeah, send if you want to get in touch. It's sbgmagazine@gmail.com because we don't really want to be giving our address out on the comments and on YouTube. Doom Bunny said that he tried to check. He'd thrown out his GBHL T-shirt packaging and his SBG magazine envelope, so he couldn't see if there was an address, kind of return to sender address on there.
Oh, I see.
This will blow your mind, guys. We don't live in the same place as James and Jamie. And Jamie sent a T-shirt. And
none of us live in the same place.
None of us live in the same place. And you generally send the magazines out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Generally.
Because I care.
I'd pay you. Posted.
Yeah, so if you do want to get in touch with us and send us anything, email the magazine email address and we'll get back to you.
Yeah. Cool. We also mentioned, because we were talking about our collections, that we might do some showcases, and there is at least one in the pipeline.
There is. On yesterday.
On yesterday.
I think on yesterday it went up, as you're watching us. You did
that time travel, right?
Yes, a bit of spoilers. If you don't want to know what yesterday's video is, cover your ears. Tom did one for his Gundabad army.
Yes. Azog's Hunters. Without Azog.
Without Azog.
Yes.
Leaderless Hunters.
Yes.
Which we will be hearing more about in another video.
Yes.
Quite soon.
Cool. Okay, so some of the comments. So we talked about kind of changing out, using a profile, a model to represent a different profile.
Yeah.
David Reed gave us a TO's perspective because he runs the
Sterling
event. Yeah. He said that he'd allow quite a few of the ideas that we were suggesting. He thought some were quite cool. He thought the Orcrist was cool. But he'd want you to kind of let him know in advance for his tournament, just in case. Mm-hmm. He also said on the Orcrist one actually, where we said Thorin and Legolas could both take Orcrist, but only one could use it as once because they were kind of chucking it between each other. Yeah. He said that he'd think that was really cool, but it may need a community FAQ. Is that the kind of thing that we'd community FAQ?
Traditionally not, because it's not ambiguous. It's an oversight rather than an unclear rule. Mm-hmm. Like if you look at the rules, it's very, very clear that you can have Thorin Oakenshield with Orcrist and Legolas with Orcrist.
Is that an opinion?
You what?
Is that an opinion?
That's fact.
That's fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Okay.
And that's very clear in the books.
Cool.
And we've traditionally stayed away from doing it like fixing things because that's an incredibly slippery slope. Yeah. The one for me that screams out this sort of thing, but people I kind of asked about it and people didn't want to, was Girion. Girion, who's not in the army Thor list. Yeah. Yeah. And I once put up on a post just as a kind of feeler, like obviously Girion should be in the army Thor list. Yeah. Would people be interested in? If we all voted for it, does that go in? And the vote was, it wasn't a vote for whether or not it should, but it was a kind of, no, we shouldn't be doing that. It's a step too far. So I think it's the same thing. Unfortunately, who knows though? Yeah. Maybe as the game, if the game becomes more community driven in the next couple of years, it's a fairly obvious fix, I think, isn't it?
But you have segued nicely into another comment from that guy 513.
What a guy.
Who used Girion model, but with Bard's profile so that Girion could take the wind lance in an Erebor force with Thrawn terrain.
Cool.
Which we think is really cool.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. There's so much wrong with the wind lance. Like, it's the Bard Girion's air profile using it, but the Bard the Bowman model using it, and then he never uses it in the film.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
It's all very silly.
But I guess they just didn't know what it was going to be in the film.
Yeah.
Some other examples. Who else but Haldy? We talked about the Thranduil Legolas Orifer Last Alliance, and he's already done that. So he was.
Just he used it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That. That's cool. Ian Marley suggested a load of Huron conversion ideas
Okay.
Which he's asked for.
Wants to do some
GBHL standing Steve to to convert.
Model murderer Stephen Crow.
Yeah. So he says an Aragon profile with a Grimbold type miniature conversion as Huron.
Yeah.
Aragon Isildur's air profile with an Aragon aesthetic conversion with High Elf helm as Turin.
Okay, yeah.
And then Warrior Varno profiles with a Warrior Rohan aesthetic as House of Huron Warrior.
Cool.
And some other ideas.
That'd be quite fun.
That's kind of the key things.
He didn't have... His family didn't have the best of times. Dear old Huron.
But yeah, things like that can be cool if done for the right way. And he also kind of tagged a comment on the end, which was saying, you know, would the style in which you play the army justify it being used at a tournament? So if you go there and then, you know, you're kind of really into explaining what everything is and then playing it in a certain way, really thematically, rather than trying to play necessarily overly tactically. Does that help? And yeah, it definitely helps towards things like most sporting and things like that. People will really enjoy playing that kind of thing if you're really into the theme of your army.
It would also be very likely that you would be taking profiles and models that aren't that competitive.
Yes.
So you would probably lose games, drop down the tables, and find people who would be more up for that sort of stuff and less serious about the games.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see some Silmarillion's conversions. And all the, you know, there's bits and bobs every now and again someone talks about, but there's never been. No one's done a force from that kind of era. It'd be quite cool.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Cool. Just some kind of miscellaneous comments now. Going back onto the army showcases, Tom Turtle had a nice comment. He said he wants an army showcase of all my armies, as in Tom's armies. One does not. No, because
what's that about?
He was setting up his next line, which is one does not simply get away with never doing solo videos.
Yeah, where are your hobby vlogs? Where are they, Thomas? People want to know.
Yeah.
What is it that gets you? Is it the inability to use the camera or the inability to edit? Not knowing what a YouTube is?
Oh, actually, Lily has been doing editing of cheerleading videos recently, and she's got editing software, like professional film editing software, which looks really good.
Premiere?
And she said that she'd teach me how to use it. And she's obviously uploaded stuff onto the computer, so she knows what she's doing.
Cool.
So I could be in there soon.
And you're a good pupil. So that should be quick.
I'm a beast on InDesign now.
Yeah, you're getting the InDesign, aren't you?
Smashing it.
Couldn't get him off the computer the other.
I was doing design stuff.
You were. Tom was actually designing. He's been the words man, but he was doing some design stuff.
Damian has subsequently gone back through and removed all of my design.
It was awful. It was all awful. Everyone's going to say issue 2 is awful. And this is a beautiful unintended segue. There's some slight SPG news that we have a third print run of issue 1. People have been asking, and we did get it done. So we have a little list of those people who've queued up.
Yeah.
But this is. I don't want to sound repetitive, but I'm sure this will be the last one.
Yeah.
Of issue 1.
There's only so many people.
Yeah, that we're reaching maximum capacity. So there are some more physical copies of issue 1 available now. But if you want, please get in touch with us.
It's the last run and very limited run.
There are
the
about
smallest 40 run that we
left
can do.
or something in ever.
Yeah.
So yes, if you are interested in still getting issue 1, do get in touch with us. And we can, as we said, I think, all but confirm now that we will be releasing issue 2 at Destination Stockport.
Yes.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
So
there's not only the painting competition, but there's SBG release as well. So why wouldn't you want to go to Stockport?
Great tournament. And we are going to reward the people, particularly last time, who got on board and kind of
really
got the physical copy and helped us out. What we are going to do this time is we're going to make the physical copy exclusive for a period of time. I think we talked about a month, didn't we? So available from Destination Stockport, and then you can obviously get it online from us, and we'll post it to you. But we're not going to release the PDF until about a month later, so that
the people who gone to the tournament get to read it and be kind of have it.
And people who want to support the project, kind of get it before people who aren't as keen in supporting it, but just want to have the PDF. So so it's very exciting, and we think it will be finished in 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, it has to be finished.
Which is kind of cool.
Because we were just being like, oh, relaxed. Oh, it's fine. We've got ages, and it's not ages.
Not ages at all.
I mean, we're in a better position than last time.
Yeah,
definitely. So I don't think particularly we're gonna struggle. But
we're just gonna need to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's quite exciting. Issue 2 will be done in 3 weeks.
We spent the last 2 evenings Skyping each other. Well, Skyping, and we've now got new screen sharing technology. So I can watch as Damian edits.
I can watch as Tom
eats my dinner. I'm ironing some shirts. I was doing the washing up.
It's basically like, I feel like I'm in Rear Window or something. It's quite creepy.
Yeah. Anyway, enough
SPG news.
Yes. Al Wood asked for our opinions on the films. He says that he's not watched every Palantir, so we may have already talked about this.
Opinions on the films?
Yes.
Awful. All of them. Hate them.
On The Hobbit. He says he really enjoyed Lord of the Rings. Less so The Hobbit. Some of the aesthetic he didn't like as much relative to Lord of the Rings. We've kind of discussed this in a lot of... I guess if you look back...
discussed it like specifically,
no, we didn't do a tournament review. A film review. Yeah. But we ranked the order of our film choices at 1.
Yeah.
So if you go back through some of the old Palantirs and look for about the dates that are within a month of the film coming out, those ones will have our opinions on the film. And then, so I'd watch back through those. But yeah, if after that we've still not really answered it, then we can talk about that kind of thing again.
I mean, I love them. I think like.
Yeah. I think you're more sold on the Hobbit stuff than me. I still really like the Hobbit films, but there are some certain bits that annoy me, whereas in Lord of the Rings, there's not... I love all of them, and there's not as many things that annoy me.
I really liked... This came up again on the Facebook group today, a couple of days ago, and I've read an article about it before, that someone said Tariel never interacts with Bilbo.
Pause a second. Tariel?
Sorry, God.
Ross Diggle had a go at you last week because you didn't do that.
Did he?
Yeah, he said...
These are segueing. These are coming out.
I know. He said, at the 57th minute, Tariel was mentioned, and no durdle was made. Consider this a written warning.
I'm sorry. So what was I thinking? God, I'm slipping.
So thanks for picking
Cheers,
up on that.
You're quite right. I can't get away with that.
I really enjoyed that comment.
That's a good comment. I didn't get a verbal warning first. That's a bit harsh though.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, this theory says that Bilbo never interacts with Tariel.
Yes.
The book of The Hobbit is from Bilbo's perspective. Therefore, everything in the movies, you can hear people just go mental at the screen now. Everything in the movies happens in The Hobbit, but Bilbo just didn't know about it. I like that. It's obviously not true.
Yeah, but it's nice fluff.
Yeah. It's obviously not...
Peter Jackson didn't sit down and was like,
Yeah, exactly. And it's not the case, but I like that as a way of thinking about it. And in, I can't remember if it's the appendix Return of the King, the appendix of Lord of the Rings, or if it's in Unfinished Tales, but Gandalf, there's a scene set in Minas Tirith after the ring gets destroyed, and Gandalf is talking about the Hobbit to the hobbits. And he says something like Bilbo had very little idea what was going on in Middle Earth at the time, and was quite
naive.
Naive about what people thought. The story would have sounded very different if I'd have told it or if Thorin had told it. And I don't know.
It's quite. I think also because Tolkien wasn't at that maturity of the evolution of his thoughts when he was writing The Hobbit. So
well, that's why he started rewriting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm quite a fan of it. I don't think it doesn't damage the book, and I like different interpretations of the stories of the book.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So that is all the comments. Trivia section.
Trivia section.
So last week we both asked questions. You asked, Damian.
Yes.
What did you ask? Can you remember?
I can remember. I asked a question.
You asked a question.
About...
Filming.
Ah yes, the filming one, of course. I asked I think it was the main shoot for Lord of the Rings and the first shoot for The Hobbit, both shot for the same number of days. Bizarrely enough.
Yes, and we had quite a lot of...
how many days was it?
Guesses, because this is quite a good guessing question. Our highest bid was 1 billion days.
There's too many.
Too many
It's
days.
too much.
It's too much David Wetton.
Who was that, David Wetton? 1 billion days.
Maybe he'd had a bit too much of the tea.
Is that meant to be like $1 billion from Austin Powers?
Now, is it an American billion or a US billion?
It's important.
Yeah.
The Treasury doesn't know.
No. We talked about this on the show, haven't we? Or was it just us talking?
No, it was just us chat. Apparently the UK Treasury doesn't know if their spokesman didn't know if they used the European billion or the American
So
billion.
apologies if we're repeating this, but my conversations with you blend into recorded and non-recorded, and I don't know which is which. So yes, there were some good guesses, some not so good guesses. There was an outstanding guess of 267.
Oh, from who?
From who else but Haldo.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Put him out of his misery,
wrong.
Damian.
The correct answer is 266.
Yeah.
Oh, who else but Halvin? Well, the good news is no one could have got closer than that.
Well, they did.
What?
Chris Dunn and Phil Wordsworth both.
You got it right?
Both got it right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Well done, guys. Probably you that clearly means you watch it just as much as I do.
Go and buy yourself a Freddo.
Yeah. It's not the whole prize. You're allowed to buy a Freddo. But it's on us.
Treat yourself.
So it's not on us. Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Good knowledge.
Mine was the heroes in the Radagast Army Alliance Army list. So you need to get all 6 of them and not add any on or miss any out. So some people got about 5 of them and then got the 6th one wrong, or got the 6th but then added a 7th one in. So who are the Damian, do you know?
Bayon.
Yeah, Bayon's right.
Radagast. Radagast on Eagle. Bard the Bowman.
Yep.
Tariel, Mirkwood Exile.
Important last point, yeah.
The 6.
Yep.
Guai.
Yeah. Smashed it. Some other people smashed it. Dave Egan.
Smashed it.
Dave Egan also got the first one right and I missed him out. So Dave Egan and Chris Dunn got both questions right.
Oh, you can buy yourself 2 Freddos.
3, because you got them both right. That's a bonus Freddo.
You can buy yourself 3 Freddos. Too rich for me.
So sorry, Dave Egan. Dave Egan and Chris Dunn smashed this week's trivia. David Reed also got my one right, as did Wobachicka, who also watched the Palantir, which is great.
Hobbs.
I don't really know how they get Wobachicka, because it's spelled Wob-chicka.
I think you just want to add an R sound.
Wobachicka! Wobba!
Oh, you have to say Wobchicka.
They've Wob-chicka.
There's nowhere in between.
Okay. Anyway,
why has Edward Woodward got so many D's in his name?
Is this a joke? I don't know.
Because if he didn't, his name would be Iwa Woowa.
The less said about
good, right?
jokes, the better.
That's funny.
Okay, so for this week's trivia, do you have a question?
I do.
You do?
Yes, my question is law related, book related, film related possibly. And my question is this. In which year, by shy reckoning, I presume,
Probably.
Was the ring destroyed? And I would just like to confirm that is the One Ring. the one that caused all the fuss.
The big ring.
The big ring. It depends how big your finger was. That one. In what year was it destroyed? And if there is a discrepancy, I don't think there is, but we'll go by the book.
Okay. Cool.
Thomas, do you have a question?
I do. It's another book-related question, but also it's a geography-related question. So, my question is, what is the river / stream that runs through the Old Forest and the Barrow Downs? And there's a bonus point if you can tell me what larger river this flows into. So this river that is in the question is a tributary of another river.
There's a bonus point.
It's a bonus point.
Even though there aren't really points.
No, but you get another Freddo.
You get the chance to buy another Freddo. Stop it, you've got to be clear on this. Interesting. I don't know that. I don't think. I could have a punt at one of them, but I don't think I know that. Do you?
The reason I asked that question is we're playing Lord of the Rings trivia and Lily's mum knew it.
Wow.
Which is a fairly
Lily's
heroic
mum
effort.
knows as well. Good work, Lily's mum. Cool. That's the trivia section.
Yeah.
Trivia section.
Cool. And now we're on to topics.
There's some news as well.
Oh, what news?
Relatively minor, it's alright. Relatively minor news, but the as of today, or this week, Monday probably, you can now buy the Battle of Five Armies on DVD
in
in America.
Yeah, Dave Fredericks was really annoyed with that.
So the physical copy is available, and for us, we're getting us in the UK, we're getting the digital copy on April the 6th, and then the physical copy 2 weeks later. So there was a review of it on the One Ring, the movie site, that said the extras on it were pretty good. You get like a day in the life of the extras, and then a documentary about linking the film trilogies together, which was apparently pretty good. Cool. They're also doing, seeing as this, we're now going to be running out of film news and you might have to be a bit more creative. The One Ring have just started doing it. This is the OneRing.net. Have just started doing their Middle-earth Madness thing again, which is quite good fun. They do this every year. And what they basically do is they take all... Have you seen this before?
I think so, yeah.
They take all the Middle-earth characters and they do like a World Cup thing where they get drawn against each other and then you vote for them. And then they fight off and then you have a winner at the end between them. And it's quite cool. So you can go onto OneRing.net and you will vote for them. I think it was Thranduil. I think won last time. And he's still in the running because he put out Thorin in the first round. But yeah, so you can go and check that out. It's quite good fun.
Cool. Tournament news, there's not too much to update on relative to last time.
No, you're better at this than I am.
There's Stockport.
The road to Stockport.
There's the road to Stockport in Huddersfield, 1 day. There's Desolation of Stockport, 2 days. There's Cardiff Siege tournament,
2 days.
2 days. There's our doubles tournament,
best doubles ever,
2 days. And then we've not really gone beyond that, have we?
No.
Yet.
There is also potential, I don't think we've talked about this on a video since last time, but maybe we did in the tournament review, but if you are interested in doubles, there may now be space. You might want to go and sign up because we've had a few people kind of drop out. So if you are interested,
go on the reserve list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Yes. Okay. But yeah, there are more tournaments available further in the future. Just check out the pin post on the Great British Hobbit League Facebook page, and there is a schedule of events on there.
Absolutely.
And the ones where tickets, or generally where tickets are available or about to be available, are in the events section of the Great British Hobbit League Facebook page.
Get on to one.
Cool. Okay. So, in terms of a topic, now this one is one we've put off for a while. It's one that was asked on Speak Friend and Question, and it was, who would we have as the fellowship if we had to pick a whole new cast? Before we kind of jump into that, Ian Marley has posed an interesting question or idea. He said, would we consider like a wife swap, but a channel show swap?
A wife swap? I don't want to do that.
Where we do.
I'm the only with a wife. Yeah, I lose.
where we do Speak Friend and Question for the week, and James and Jamie do the Palantir for a week.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now, what he doesn't say in here is, would we have to act as? So, you know, take the mic.
Yeah.
We'd have to go. And what does Jamie do particularly?
Jamie
rolls his eyes when James is like.
He says yep a lot.
Yep,
like 3 years.
He does, yeah. That's a good little thing.
But if that's your most annoying tip.
He also does this when he's with his hair.
Does he?
When he has long hair.
So luxurious.
Yeah. I also loved it when he did that, when people were talking, I think it was the Romies comments or the Triple Luke comments, and he was like, not reading that. No. When he was going through the comments.
Some Romie thing, not reading that.
Oh, this is something James has been doing whilst I was away.
We could, we could swap shows.
Yeah, I think it'd be a nice idea. We've not broached it with James and Jamie, but
we are up for it. You can count us in.
Yeah. Maybe if it got to a special number of Speak Friend and Questions or Palantirs, we should do a swap.
On the week where we're both on the same number of episodes, we'll swap.
Given that we will never ever catch up.
The tricky thing with how we get the sofa to them.
And the Triceratops.
I think if we can get the sofa to them, we can get the Triceratops.
Okay.
They'd have to get the Northwest Gamers out.
What about the Freddos?
Oh god, yeah. But yeah, that might be fun. Who knows? I'll tell you what, it'd be a hell of a lot easier on us.
Yeah.
So they'd have to think of a sketch and do a comment review. So yeah, we are up for it.
Yeah. All we'd have to do is be like, take Vrasku, that's what you're doing in Isengard on.
Yeah.
Done.
Yep.
Speak friend in question, done. Okay. So, Fellowship actors. Have you got anyone in mind then?
So is it just the Fellowship, or can it be other?
I think other characters as well, but maybe start with Fellowship.
If we're talking about it generally, then I'll refresh of my. I really like the idea of Jon Thor as Theoden.
Okay.
He's dead, obviously, sadly.
Yeah.
No, Jon Thor, not Theoden. Both dead. But I thought Jon Thor.
Spoiler. Good job we said that.
Yeah, Jon Thor, who played Inspector Morse,
Yeah.
I think would make an excellent Theoden.
Because he drives a maroon car, and maroon is kind of similar to the Brohan colours.
Yeah, that was the primary reason. I also think he'd make a good Denethor. I think he'd be a good kind of grumpy old king.
Characters.
Yeah, everyone as Jon Thor.
Okay.
Cool. Would be my opening gambit.
Nice.
What about you?
I don't know. Before I go in, Dr. Dan had a few ideas
that
he shared with us. He said David Jason as old Bilbo.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I thought that was good. This one...
Nicholas Lyndhurst as young Bilbo.
Now this next one, I actually was thinking about myself, is Alan Rickman as Saruman. But I thought that was quite a good shout. He does a good baddie.
He does a good baddie.
And the beard would kind of cover that he's not as old as Christopher Lee.
Yeah, because no one on Earth is as old as Christopher Lee.
He's got Gary Oldman as Denethor. So this is serious.
Gary Oldman. I know who Gary Oldman is. I know the films.
I know the films.
I know about films. Gary Oldman, that's interesting.
He says Brian Blessed as Tom Bombadil or Forlong the Fat, both of whom feature heavily in Lord of the
Brian
Rings.
Blessed would be an excellent Tom Bombadil, because Tom Bombadil is sodding annoying and Brian Blessed is sodding annoying. We also talk about this, the fact that if you're a book fan, and I'm really annoying the book guys in this episode, but people are like, Tom Bombadil cut out. I've been listening to the audiobook of Fellowship recently, and it has reaffirmed my decision, my feelings that cutting out Tom Bombadil is the best thing they could have possibly done for that film. It's an awful section, and you can hear them typing. It's so stupid. Just a hey ho Terry Toll now comes a singing, and now I'll be pressing the doorbell. You'll be a ringing. You go, what? What is that? Can you imagine the scene in Bag Anger? This is the most powerful ring the Dark Lord will destroy. Hey ho, Mary Doll! Like Santa arriving in the middle of Schindler's List or something. Like, that's
what I thought when Jamie turned up dressed as Tom Bombadil to the tournament. I was like, this is a disaster.
Yeah. It's just like...
You are upsetting Jamie a lot at this point.
I don't like that bit at all.
So is our topic morphing into why we don't like Tom Bombadil in terms of Lord of the Rings? Okay. And he also had Channing Tatum as Cave Troll. You enjoy that one?
That's good.
Cool. So, ideas from... I guess it's my turn, isn't it? I thought potentially Jeremy Irons as Elrond.
Jeremy Irons, though? That's not bad. I thought, you're going to think I'm biased on this, Sam Neill as Elrond.
Oh, yeah. Okay, he can have Elrond, but who can Jeremy Irons have then?
Jeremy Irons, he could be a Theoden.
Yeah, he could be a Theoden. He could do it.
Jeremy Irons is good. He could be a Lord of the Rings. Yeah. But he was in Dungeons and Dragons, the awful film. Yeah. He's been at the opposite.
Yeah, the opposite end. But I think he'd be good. So that was my.
But yeah, I've thought. Sam Neill
you've done
for a
Sam
while.
Neill. Yeah, that's good.
For Elrond, who's Dr. Alan Grant.
They also look reasonably similar. Sam Neill and
I think he could do a very, very good Elrond. Yeah.
You couldn't though.
Me?
No,
probably not.
No.
Wouldn't try and touch anything Dr. Grant.
My next one, I had Liam Neeson Boromir.
Liam Neeson's Boromir?
Yeah.
He's a bit old, isn't he? I don't know.
You're not as convinced as that. Who do you have as Boromir then?
Channing Tatum.
He's a cage holder.
Well, Nicolas Cage, obviously.
Nicolas Cage for the death scene.
Well, I don't think I came up with a Boromir.
Okay. So what was your next on the
I
list?
thought James Purefoy would be good.
Who's James Purefoy?
He's an English actor. He's been in The Following recently, the Kevin Bacon series. But he looks to be about 40ish, something like that. Traditional, like, kind of good looks. He's a good actor, kind of well spoken. I think he'd make quite a good. You could see him being kind of messed up to be a ranger, but then looking quite kingly.
Okay.
I think.
So you had him as Aragorn, sorry.
I think so, yeah. But I think he could do Bozza. He could be a Boromir.
I was struggling a little bit on Aragorn. He's quite.
Stuart Townsend. Give him a second
Yeah.
crack. Hire him again, fire him again. What have you learned, Stuart?
Yeah. He's a bit older though now. He'd fit into the role a bit better. Yeah, Aragorn's difficult. I don't really have an Aragorn. I had an idea of getting Benedict Cumberbatch in because yes, he's in The Hobbit, but you don't see him, and that's probably allowed to
He
put
could
him
be an
in.
elf. Could he be Legolas?
I don't know if he'd be Legolas. Who's another big elf in it? Not Celeborn, he's useless.
Haldir was a big elf.
Haldir, nah. Oh, we've got Elrond. Yeah, there's.
Celeborn?
Yeah, he doesn't really do much though. Because maybe he could be Thranduil.
What, Benedict Cumberbatch
Yeah.
is Thranduil?
Yeah. But we're straying away from Lord of the Rings here.
Yeah. God knows we don't like to wander off on tangents.
But it'd be good to get Benedict Cumberbatch in there, I think.
Yeah, do him a favour. Be nice to help him out a bit, wouldn't it? Tom and Damian have got some work for you. You seem to be struggling.
Okay, so maybe it's a bit of poor saying Celeborn, but we could. It's a bit of a waste of Benedict Cumberbatch.
There is Celeborn? No, I'm not doing it. I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Maybe Legolas, but
I think he could do Legolas.
okay, let's have him as Legolas. There you go, done. Right. Because I was thinking potentially you could have someone. Maybe he's too flippant. I was going to have someone like David Tennant as Legolas.
David Tennant could be a Hobbit, I think.
Oh yeah, he could be. Yeah, because he can do the Scottish, given that he is Scottish.
He could be Pippin.
That's a better shout. Okay,
I think David Tennant could be a Hobbit.
Good.
Good. Sorted.
Yeah.
Get him on the phone.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mate, who else did I have? I had. Who was I thinking? Oh, I had time for Aomer.
Aomer?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can't for the life of me remember who it is. That's annoying.
Do you want to think about it?
Oh, I had a girl. I had Uma Thurman for Galadriel.
Okay.
I thought that could work.
Good. I mean,
I could see her
it's
being
hard
quite
to beat
ethereal.
Kate Blanchett, I think, but okay.
But yeah, Uma Thurman as Galadriel. I thought there's something in her eyes and stuff that's quite enchanting and stuff. I thought.
Cool. Gandalf. Tricky.
Sure.
I had a few options.
Sean Connery.
John Hurt, or potentially Bill Nye, but maybe he's not serious enough.
No,
But he has the jokey bit of Gandalf. He could do that.
I think he'd be too Bill Nye. He'd be too.
Yeah.
That's Bill Nye there.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe John Hurt would.
John Hurt would be good. Wasn't he? Did he do Merlin?
He's the dragon in Merlin.
I can already see him in a long white beard for some reason. But yeah, John Hurt would be a good shout. I think. Michael Gambon's a very obvious choice.
Yeah,
I think that's just because he's Dumbledore.
I don't think he's very. Well, he's not good at Dumbledore relative to the book's portrayal of Dumbledore.
Oh.
I think his acting itself is fine. But I think that the way.
I thought Richard Harris would have been good.
Yeah, he was.
Actually,
he was really
he's
good.
got that kind of.
But then he drunk himself to death.
Yeah. Shame. Don't drink it.
Don't drink it.
Don't
go on a stag do to Ireland.
Don't drink stupid amounts of alcohol. It's bad for you. Who else? Gandalf's really hard because you need that.
Yeah.
Old, kind of. You need the cuddly old man that can then.
Yeah, because I had Derek Jacobi as well as another name to throw in the hat.
Derek Jacobi,
because he has the cuddly bit. He could do.
Yeah, he could work. Could we get Patrick Stewart in? We get Ian Stratton in?
That's another obvious as a...
Patrick Stewart as the narrator.
Yeah, as the narrator. he could definitely be something though. What would he? He could be Celeborn.
He's a man, isn't he, Patrick Stewart? I think.
Essentially,
he's more man than elf.
Not AMA, but. Yeah.
Oh, I tell you, one of the things I was thinking for AMA was Brad Pitt. I thought Brad Pitt could do a good.
He looks quite similar.
In his serious Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Because Brad Pitt's a damn fine actor.
Yeah.
I thought he could be good at that.
Yeah. And you're branching out and going American. Yeah. For an actor.
So I think he could do a decent job.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spacey's bankable. Maybe he's a Saruman.
Maybe.
Kevin Spacey's Saruman.
Yeah, maybe. He's maybe not old enough.
Makeup.
Yeah, makeup.
I think Aragorn. I don't think Viggo Mortensen was 87.
No, he wasn't. But he wasn't meant to look 87, was he?
Have you seen that great meme of that says at the start of Fellowship of the Ring, Gandalf kneeling down in front of Ian Hunger, "You haven't aged a day," and then it cuts to the end of the Battle of Five Armies with Martin Freeman's face. Liar.
That is brilliant.
You've aged several days. That was the whole point. I remember thinking when the Hobbit go around to go, who are they going to cast? Well, at the start he says you haven't aged a day, so presumably Ian Holm.
Interesting. Yeah. Good.
David Tennant's a great shout as a Hobbit.
Yeah, he is. But I can't think who else could be a Hobbit then. You're trying to get there must be someone else Scottish or Irish who is quite chirpy.
Other nationalities are available.
Yeah, they are. But it's kind of a...
Could you have
They like to have the people with a bit more accent.
What about I'm not on Hobbits here.
Okay.
But Daniel Craig. Could he be a Boromir?
He could be a Boromir. He could. He could also be Lurtz.
Offensive, Daniel. I don't think you're an orc. You'll have you.
You worked, did you? We saw the comic relief.
The comic relief, yeah, with Daniel Craig.
If you've not seen it, just YouTube James Bond comic relief voiceover or
it's
whatever.
Superb. Very, very funny.
Yeah.
Well worth a watch.
Yeah. So his voice wouldn't do for Boromir.
No. We could dub him though.
Yeah.
That was good.
Gollum.
As an actor.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Crook.
I like that.
If he was to actually act it out.
Yeah. No,
sorry, Mackenzie.
And then we're getting the whole office involved as well as Martin Freeman.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that could work. Ricky Gervais could be Balin on Butterbeer.
So yeah, those are the ones that
we didn't really give a fellowship, did we? But we've given a good go.
We had a thought about it.
Yeah,
we had to think about it. Those are some of the ones that we thought.
Let us know if you disagree strongly. Or if you have some other ideas.
Cool.
Channing Tatum as Cave Troll wins.
Absolutely.
Cool, so the second topic that we thought about, so last episode we talked about, we gave a shout out to the DCHL. Where are they from?
Canada, I think.
Canada,
yeah. They're from America, of course.
They are.
Washington DC, no?
Yeah. And we gave them a shout out because they'd done a Smaug battle report on a Lake Town board. Yeah. Or at least that's what we said. But they had some technical problems and hadn't uploaded it yet. But they have now. And I've watched it. Have you watched it?
I haven't watched it.
You should watch it. It's very good.
So is it the one from the book?
Yes, it's the scenario from the Battle of Five Armies source book. Yeah. And it's really cool to see Smaug, and the board is amazing. Yeah. And they've put a few little custom rules of their own in, like Smaug can set buildings on fire and batter them down a bit like a mimic, which is really cool. The board looks great. Smaug looks great. It's a fun battle report. It's quite long, about an hour and 20, but
Cool.
I guess that's kind of like for our battle reports. It's on about getting on for 600 views already.
Look, it's
not been out that long. So yeah, not Google, go on YouTube and search for DCHL Smaug Lake Town.
do it now.
Get it. That is very good, and it's DCHL Devon, isn't it?
Yeah, Devlin.
Devlin.
Devon.
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 It's happened again. Devon. Devon. Yeah. Devon.
They have a website. We don't have a website. We just kind of have a Facebook page. DCHL have a website, which is cool. They're definitely more organised. They have a better marketing arm.
Yeah, they look great. They're doing a great job.
Yeah,
it's really
good. And
inspirational stuff.
yeah, I think we said before. I like that they have videos on how to do this, collect this army on a budget.
Yeah,
That's
they're good.
Useful
Yeah,
video.
those, yeah.
And we've talked about this before, but the uses for useless models. Maybe we should steal some of these ideas.
Absolutely.
But yeah, good stuff. But what I thought would be nice is, so the Smaug Lake Town battle is obviously an awesome battle report. It's an awesome scenario. It's got great models and it's got a great scenery. And this led me to think that, you know, that's taken a lot of planning on their behalf to get to that point. What if we could choose any scenario? So let's say time to create the scenario in terms of the terrain, the models, was no object, and there's no kind of monetary restrictions. Everything just gets handed to you ready-made tomorrow. What scenario, or you know, what battle report would you pick to play if you could choose anything? Doesn't have to be one from a source book, just any bit of the film or book.
Anyone?
Yes.
Maybe the Battle of Five Armies?
How many points?
1 billion.
1 billion points.
Billion points.
American billion or English?
How many points? I don't know. What's the Spanish Inquisition going on?
That's a speak for an question army. Battle of Five Armies. Next question.
For, like, I don't know, huge.
Huge. Like a huge version.
5,000 or something.
Okay.
It gets you like most of the heroes for good.
Bog down.
No, it'd be fine. I've worked it out.
How many players would you have? Maybe you'd have to...
Well, 1 billion.
Okay.
I don't know, Tom.
You could do this. You could do... you look like Gollum. You're like, oh, punched.
Leave me alone.
You could do this, like the whole White Dwarf Pelennor Fields, where they have multiple battles.
Yep.
That then kind of join later. So you have players on each square of the board doing a different bit. So you could have... I guess it's hard to do the
That's
attack
in the Journey book.
Yes.
The Journey book for Return of the King has got 4 games that are on a
and they did it in the White
4x4
Dwarf, yeah.
that you play out, but then they suggest deploying them all on a 8x8
Yeah.
and playing them all
Yeah.
normally.
And they did that in the White Dwarf.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes, it's really good White Dwarf. It's a huge battle report, lots of pages. But yeah, they get lots of players. And then once someone's won a scenario, they can start moving across to
they couldn't leave their board until it's been won or something.
Yeah. So, you could kind of do that for the Battle of Five Armies, because you could have... I don't know how you do it with the timeline of the battle, though, because getting the Thorin's company up to...
I think
or maybe you start them up at the top. The dwarves could start on Ravenhill.
You just have to do it as... you come up with the narrative to make your scenario work. We did it with the big Helm's Deep game. We did I think it was 3,500 points aside of Helm's Deep, which is this big report of it on the one.
There's about 10 of you playing.
Yeah, and for that, at one point, you want Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli on the Deeping Wall.
Yeah.
But then you want them to ride out, and you don't want to spend. The board was huge. You don't want to spend 10 turns with them running, so we just teleported them.
Yeah.
We on one turn we said right. We actually had Theoden and Gimli fall back.
Yeah.
And I think we said once they got inside, Aragorn and Legolas were assumed to have got there as well.
Yeah.
And everyone's fine with it.
Yeah.
Because you did it for the scenario. So I think you just do
so
that.
Maybe we transport them to Ravenhill after 10 turns, whatever.
But I said the Battle of Five Armies because I think the scenery is incredibly cool. You have the Wall of Erebor, you have the whole Dale City, and then you have the Ravenhill thing.
Yeah, and kind of the mountain slope.
Yeah,
as well.
I think that would be amazing, and having the different battles, which is clearly what PJ did. So because the Battle of Five Armies is a bit of a dull fight in the book.
Yeah.
it's just a big scrap on a field. There's not a lot going on. So he brought Dale into it to make it a bit of a siege and make different bits look different.
And you could have models converted like Bomber with a horn.
Yeah, well, this is the thing as well. This is the perfect world. So obviously, my other thinking behind this was that you get all the models.
Azog armoured.
Yeah, and
Dane, just literally everything.
Yeah, all these models that haven't been released.
All the trolls and the evil Gribblies.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
The catapults, the dwarven ballistas.
Yeah, the stuff that's not in it.
Yeah, Battle of 5 Armies is a good shout.
I think that would be cool. But also, the other thing for me is
flags.
I haven't seen that flag.
Well, that could be a scenario of special rules. You could roll an Azog's flag table, 1 to 6, and it does specific things. It gives bonuses or not bonuses depending on.
If this film had been released in 2004, that flag would have a model.
Yeah.
And it'd have rules.
Yeah.
I think.
We should make some rules for it.
If only we had an outlet for that. Don't get your hopes up about issue 2. It's not in there. Who knows? Yeah, I like that, but I've also not seen that because the models aren't available because the film hasn't been out very long.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that battle take place, so that for me would be incredibly cool.
That's a very good shout.
You?
I don't know. I thought we'd kind of come up with quite a few ideas rather than just
I thought you could
straight down the line with one. Yeah, no, I'm trying to buy time.
Oh.
Because you could also go down the what if scenario. So in the Chronicles book, we had that picture of the Flash to what if Smaug appeared at the Battle of 5 Armies.
So get the picture. Good. It's not here.
Because imagine doing the Battle of 5 Armies.
It's not here. It's next door. I'm just asleep. Gandalf has a vision.
Yeah.
At some point, it doesn't happen in the film. I don't think they even filmed it, so I don't think it'll be in the extended. And I think maybe it happens when he's at Dol Guldur fighting Sauron or something. He has a vision of what would happen if Smaug led the army, and it looks awesome. There's this doorway spread of Smaug with legions of orcs around him. Why remove that and put the Alfred in a dress? What are you thinking?
That would have been awesome.
Yeah. So you want Smaug leading an army?
I was just that would be cool.
Yeah, it would be very cool.
There's a scenario with Smaug leading the Battle of 5 Armies.
Smaug wins.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Well destroyed. Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
I'd like to do Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
Prop Minas
As
Tirith.
in Pelennor Fields and then
Siege,
all of it in one.
Do it like we did it with Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
On the right scale.
You'd have to build all the siege towers and stuff like that.
No, I wouldn't, because they've just been delivered.
Oh yeah, they've just been
delivered. This is the appeal of this scheme. I don't have to do any of that.
No.
But one of the reasons that I thought the Helm's Deep game was so successful was because it looked like, for the size of our model, and it was about an 8 foot wide board. In Helm's Deep, it looked like we had the right number of models. It all the battlements were full, and it looked like right now outside we didn't. You had about I don't know what it was, 200 Uruks or something. I don't know. A lot of it, 300 Uruks, but not 10,000.
Yeah.
But inside it looked right, and I'd like to do a Pelennor Fields thing on that sort of scale.
Yeah.
So that you could have a huge Minas Tirith.
Well.
Yeah. Have you seen the one?
The one in Lord of the Ring is amazing.
Yes, I'll never be able to find it now. But this sort of thing would be incredibly cool to play.
There you go.
No, it's not.
Past it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's.
God. This is what we want to play. That. Oh, it's on the back cover.
That's a different picture.
But it's still on the back cover.
That looks amazing. And there is a giant, where is it there? Giant Grond in there. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mummoks.
Plus a dead one.
That was including dead one. On there. And it just looks insane. But
yeah, if you did it properly and you had all the 9 race and everything, it's huge amounts of points. But if you got 10, 15, 20 people and played bits each, that would be so cool.
I mean, that's what we did with Helm's Deep. It was different people were playing, like these 2 people were playing, these 2 people were playing, but you were just keeping the same turns going.
Yeah.
But that would be cool, because that's got nice ebbs and flows, the Minas Tirith one. You'd bring in the different bits at different points. I'd like to see that. Helm's Deep is always good fun. I've done it a couple of times, but obviously doesn't hold the same appeal for me because I've done it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Any others?
Those are cool because they're set with the great backdrop of the scenery for both. Trying to think, I think it'd be really cool if you had a proper Osgiliath board. I've always wanted to have a proper Osgiliath board with the bridge and everything, but it's loads of skirmish fights on a huge scale, but where you're having to move models around the terrain and gain advantage up a stairway or whatever. It's all like that, so all the models don't deploy as an army. Everything's kind of randomly scattered everywhere, up on buildings, and there's just random one orc here, one ranger here.
So like
play it like that.
Almost like the original SBG idea, but
on a huge scale for Osgiliath, because that would be so cool. I really like the Osgiliath.
It's not a huge, for me, not as keen because I've never really not fussed about Gondor.
Okay.
So it doesn't do it an awful lot for me, but
it's not enough ferals.
Players. I haven't touched my ferals in months. What about the Last Alliance?
Yeah, I think that the Last Alliance would. There are two issues. One is there's not a huge variety of models that you can take. If they had more variety of troop types, that would be good. And the second issue is on a big field.
Yeah, that's it.
There's nothing there to break it up.
Yeah.
A bit.
I remember the
same with the Black Gate. There's nothing to break it up.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Even though our back rep for Black Gate was very enjoyable.
Terrible. Some of you may remember the very first Fellowship of the Ring book, which came out in 2001 for the game, and that had Weathertop, Aragorn, V4, Ringwraiths, and Amon Hen, Aragorn, Boromir, and Legolas against 12 Uruk scouts. Yeah. And then it had the Battle of the Last Alliance. Yeah. And I can't remember what was on the good side, but on the bad side was Sauron and 240 orcs. I haven't looked at that book in about 10 years, and I'm certain it's 240 orcs. And to put that into context, at the time, the only way you could buy these orcs were metal packs of 3. And I remember getting this book going, this looks like this game could be really cool. And then going, 240 orcs? I need 80 packs. Like 80 packs of these metal guys. I go, I'm not going to do that. Like, when you look at a scenario, I'm not going to do that.
Like the Mirkwood Spiders.
Yeah, it's like the Mirkwood Spiders.
That would be enough one on the list, purely just to get the Mirkwood Spiders.
Like that. And I remember thinking, and then, when the plastic orcs came out for Return of the King, you're like, oh, maybe now I can do it. But that's just an insane scenario. Yeah. It was like they took a load of drugs before writing the last scenario. It's like, how do you think at this point, and you've got to bear in mind it's a completely different game now with plastics available, but it was very much about tiny amounts of figures.
Which would you rather have Smaug or 240 orcs?
It would have been more, it would have been 400 quid.
Yeah.
It would have been 5 quid times 80.
Yeah,
I think it would have been at the time. But yeah, so no, the Blackgate and Last Alliance don't particularly appeal to me.
No, not as much. I think you could do a really cool, they did it in White Dwarf, you could have a really cool Balrog when the dwarves go back and reawaken the Balrog. If you had a full Khazad-dûm board, that would be epic.
It's
where you've got the scenery to do everything at different levels.
The scenery
bridges,
the appeal.
Yeah.
Like that will rule almost
everything. And rules with the scenery, because they did rules for kind of the dwarven lights and for specific things.
The little mirror things.
Yeah, the mirror
things.
Book, yeah. But all that kind of thing can just add massively. Yeah. That would be awesome.
That would absolutely be my decider for this. And like which to get, it would be what scenery I get.
Yeah.
I would love to do a Goblin Town. Touching on whoever it was asked us, was it Al Wood about the movies?
Yeah.
Like I love the Goblin Town stuff in the first film.
Apart from the Falling.
Yeah, the Falling's a bit anti-gravity and a bit cartoony, but the aesthetic of it, the aesthetic of Goblin Town is superb. And I've got something like 22 of the sprues of scenery ready for one day, and 72 goblins, and the idea that you'd have a proper multi-level board, not a pathway here and a pathway there, but this goes up to here and that goes down there, and an actual reason, kind of like you were saying with Osgiliath, like real reasons to be on different levels. It has to be objective based, I think. Yeah. And having that on 4 foot by 4 foot with tons of goblins, that would just be amazing. I'd love that. Yeah. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, so anything like that with cool scenery. Cool.
So yeah, but if I had to pick one at the moment, I think I'd go for the Battle of Five Armies.
Okay. Okay.
I think. You? One?
I can't steal your Battle of Five Armies.
Yeah, get off.
I don't know, any of these are really good. Have you got another idea?
Barrel escape would be good to get it done on
really.
the board. A proper,
but I think that's achievable. I think we could do that. Whereas Minas Tirith,
yeah.
doing like the Siege of Minas Tirith or a full Osgiliath board isn't really, or a full Dale board isn't really achievable on our level.
The problem with so many of these is the board, it's the storage, because that's what I meant. You can knock out blue fabric and do the riverboard.
Yeah.
But as soon as you make a riverboard, you've then got to keep the riverboard.
Mm.
And you need it to be a 6 foot by 4 foot. As soon as you make it 2 by 2 by 2, you've then got cracks down the middle, and it just ruins that illusion.
Yeah.
And that for me is the thing. That's what I want. I want like, imagine if you had 6 foot, just a river.
Yeah.
Like, so
I do really love the barrel escape, but I think that's doable. So yeah, I'll go with Osgiliath. I think that was a pipe dream as one that would be on the verge of possible, but
You're
not.
a big fan of Gondor as well.
Yeah. But Minas Tirith would be epic. I'm just trying to think of one. I think that having this more skirmishy deployment rather than a big siege would be more fun to play. I think. But that's kind of like the Goblin Town one as well. Has that element.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where you're still jumping across stuff.
I think it'd probably make quite a good scenario if you start the game not in a shield wall, but all the models are mixed up.
Exactly. That's what I want. Yeah.
That'd make for a good scenario.
Yeah. Cool.
Wicked.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is our dream scenario. What is the best game you can imagine playing?
Yeah, we'd like to hear. We've probably missed out some really good ones. And also, let us know if you'd like us to do a swap with the other GBHL hosts.
Absolutely.
If you think we're bad at doing the Palantir and they do a better job, I'm sure they would.
I'm sure they'll do a much better job.
Yes, let us know.
As we said, next Friday we will return.
Yes.
With a twist. It's going to be a twist. So it's going to be very, very, very unexciting. You're not going to care.
I'm not going to
care in the slightest. But we will care.
Yes.
And we will see you next Friday then.
Yes. Cool.
As ever, don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe.
Like us on Facebook, that's our Facebook page, Great British Hobbit League YouTube channel. And like us on Twitter, which is I Love Wargaming.
Follow us.
Follow us on Twitter, what did I say?
You said like it.
That's right.
Follow us on Twitter. One last time.
And just because we say this and people probably are just like, don't care.
Which bit?
The follow. I always get when we're saying the likes on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. I'm like, come again. So that's why I'm expanding on that. So anyway, likes on Facebook, follow us on Twitter.
Boy Hobbit,
and Happy Strategy Battle Gaming.
What was that?
I don't know. We can cut that if you want.